These comments are cooking him, bro. This is crazy. So as you guys have probably seen, Donald Trump said something that had the entire internet turning up, specifically all of the Europeans in most comment sections under this particular video.
Where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented.
And yeah, he said exactly what you just heard. He said that people call him the president of Europe. And of course, the comment sections across the internet were turning all the way up. And I thought it was absolutely entertaining. So we're going to be going over a lot of those comments. I also want to hear from you guys what you guys have been hearing and how you guys would respond to something like this if this was said to you, or if you heard this directly from him himself, because it has been interesting looking at all of these different responses and they have had me cackling. So before we get started, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And our first comment says, so we can confirm the dementia claims, right? And the response to that says, doesn't matter. Even if King Trump would say he has dementia, he would say he has the greatest memory from any president ever, and his cult would cheer. And I'm pretty sure we know that to be very, very accurate. His cult following behind him does nothing short of support every single claim he's made, if not most of the claims he's made, and he's been kind of upping the ante. It seems like this presidential term, he's been very active in making the world rumble a lot more than his first term. And it's scary because when you really think about it, it's only been 8 months since he's been put in the position he's been put in. And the world is definitely reacting a very particular way to all of the policies and his isms that he's been kind of propagating throughout the planet. So yeah, what do you guys think of what's happening in America right now? And do you think we can recover from what is currently happening? Literally nobody. I mean, nobody has ever called him that. Maybe he's mixing up the word president with pedo and the words of Europe with yes, I am. Now, I know a lot of you guys know what this is in reference to, but the Epstein files, oh my gosh, that's a hot topic. He's tried to avoid it like the plague, but fortunately, every single interview he's ever done recently, no matter what country he's in, that seems to be one of the leading questions every news reporter has worldwide for him. What about them files, though? Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. I do think that no matter what side of the political spectrum you land on, that has been a hot topic between the left and the right. And everybody wants to know who was on the flight list to that particular island. Both my honest reaction and the real president of Europe.
Brother,
Y'all are wild for that, man. But our next comment says, if you take anything from us, take not having a single leader. That really helps keeping the megalomaniacs in check. I was actually gonna ask about that. I mean, it's crazy because you would think like, you know, America doesn't have a singular leader, but we do. We have our president, right? But I thought the other branches of government would have enough like, you know, hoopla to overpower him. But the problem is most of the majority of the other sections of government are pretty much in his back pocket. So he does what he wants for the most part, and policies and things have changed as a result. And it's not like it was before. There was a period of time, I think it was when Obama was president, where the cabinet was completely divided, right? He was president, but then of course Congress was primarily Republican, so he would put something up to get pushed and it would get shot down immediately. Right now, we have a unified government and the head of the snake is yours truly. I'd kind of like it if he was our king instead. This would be the one time where I would willingly side with the French. Oh my God. That's wild. Anyways, our next comment says, well, Mr. President of Europe, sir, I humbly think it's time for the US to free Germany from a malevolent fascist regency again, sir. Thanks in advance. Sir. As you can see, the majority of these comments, these responses are very tongue-in-cheek, very unserious, and of course people are like, bro, What is America doing? It seems to me, from my perspective, that America has turned into like this giant toddler that's kind of put off to the side in a suspended playpen by itself, you know what I mean? While all the other countries are out on the playground playing, they're like, yeah, see that kid over there? Stay away from that one. He's a wild card. Okay, you might possibly get hurt playing with that one. So until he can get his stuff together, just be over here. Our next comment says, you can see him live taking something he's imagined. They jokingly refer to me as the president of Europe until what is now a fact to him. They call me the president of Europe within the same sentence. Incredible. Man has the best words. Yeah, like at first it was like, oh yeah, like they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They actually call me the president of Europe.
They call me the president of Europe.
Yeah, has a nice ring to it. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Do I think he actually believes that? I don't know. Does this guy just say shit without a singular shred of thought? Because it really sounds like it. Listen, you and the rest of the planet are probably wondering the same thing. It's gotten to the point now where his own fan base is looking at him crooked. They're like, did we make a mistake? I call him the president of Epstein Island. It's a great honor, really. These comments are cooking him, bro. This is crazy. I already knew the internet would take this and run to the hills with what he said, and oh my God. Obviously, even with the context around it where he made his initial statement and then he morphed his initial statement into what sounds like a fact to him. Oy, oy, oy. And it's crazy because unironically, I do think that he possibly believes the sentiment and whatnot, and the other European countries are like, brother, what? Can someone please give Gramps his meds? Medication? Did you say medication? Well, if you look at who the head of our health department is,
if members of this committee or other members of Congress want information, the doors are open.
I don't think they would hand you anything. Oh my gosh, bro. These comments are hilarious. I know it's difficult, but the free press has to call him out every time shit dribbles from his mouth. No one calls you that. Provide evidence that they do. Can't? Then stop lying. The response to that says, well, they could do that, but he'll call them fake news and then add them to the list of media outlets that he gave to the FCC to have their broadcasting licenses revoked. You know, the kind of shit a dictator does when he doesn't like what media says about him. And y'all are on target with that, because I do think that would quite literally happen if given the chance. Oh, what interesting times we live in. It's funny, I do not think politics has been more dire and entertaining than it has been currently in United States history. Now, yes, in the past it's been very interesting for sure, but this has been the most out of the ordinary experience we probably ever had in US history. And that's no exaggeration. You guys have seen what's happened in the last 8 months. It's been the ultimate Hail Mary in every which direction but loose. And it's concerning, very concerning, because it does seem like America's allies are like, all right, guys, hold on tight. We got 4 more years and we might have maybe America back again, possibly. He's lost the plot. Delusional. I don't know if he's even aware he's lying or he believes everything he says, but there's something very wrong with him. He may be suffering from some kind of mental impairment. Why is no one in mainstream questioning his fitness to govern? It feels like the court of the emperor with no clothes. The media, global leaders, corporations, financial markets, all just playing along. At some point, society must stand up and say, what the fuck? No. See, here's the problem with that. I think many have tried and many have failed, and at this point, a lot of people have given up. They're just letting what is currently happening happen and planning around the very unpredictable nature of what is currently our situation. So, pray for all of us Americans out here. We're definitely going through a few things, or 2, or 3, or 5, or 10. European here, I can assure you we don't call him that. Basic, genuine, run-of-the-mill people call him a maniac, a greedy, out-for-himself traitor, the guy who will press the button, the bloke who completely fucked America, and Hitler. I won't say what the rest of Europe call him. They truly hate him. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've not seen this much hate towards America ever. In my 30 years of living, I've never seen this much hate towards America ever. Not even when Bush was president. And that's throughout my entire lifespan. Out of all the presidents I can think of that could possibly equate to what we currently have right now, yeah, Bush was definitely, he was an interesting individual, but he didn't even get this much backlash at all. And it has been very, very interesting. Very interesting. The entire worldwide shift of the perception of America currently compared to how it had been in the last 25 years, right? And it's very concerning. But it's cool to see these tongue-in-cheek jokes and stuff like that from Europe responding to a wild statement. And I just want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts and feelings on this in the comments down below? I know the world is definitely in shambles right now. Inflation is skyrocketing. People are scrambling to basically just survive day to day. Tensions worldwide are pretty high. I can't say that they are the highest they've ever been, but they are very high. And people are definitely very nervous and concerned. So let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on the current state of things. And if you think that America can be redeemed in some way, shape, or form. I also have noticed a heightened amount of Americans traveling outside the country to get another viewpoint on how the world really works, right? And I think that's incredible because maybe it's just me having access and finally identifying a lot of Americans finally traveling outside the country to get away from all of the noise and propaganda and whatever. But I really admire people leaving their hometown to explore the rest of the world and come back with a worldly view so we can actually repair what is currently happening in the United States of America.